Welcome to the iBos training series. This is part 1 of the training series, and in this part we'll be looking at how to set up the iPad to run the iBos program. So first off, I'd just like to go over a few things about using an iPad. There's essentially 4 different functions that we'll be using quite often. There's a function which is the tap function, and in that case what you want to do is just tap the screen very quickly and accurately. So these are my apps that are on my currently on my iPad, and I can download them, but to activate any one of these, for instance YouTube, I would just tap on it. So I can show you that, and YouTube will load. Now if I want to get out of an app to go back to the main screen, I use the home button, which is this one over here. So using the home button, touch it once and it takes me back. Takes me out of this app and back to my selection. So that's the tap. There's also the swipe, which is just as it sounds, swipe sideways across the screen and just lets you scroll from side to side. So I can swipe and see all the different apps on my iPad. Down here, Safari, my email set up on my, and so these ones stay here. So there's swipe and tap, and the other one is a touch and hold. So if I touch and hold this, it creates a different function, and these start shaking. This little X will actually delete an app off my iPad. Get rid of an app I want to use. I would do in the corner. I want to delete. So that to go back. Okay. So there's touch and hold on the screen. There's swipe on the screen, both sideways and up and down. So I just swipe down and it's searching for my iPad. I don't want to do that, so I will hit the home button and it takes me back to my home. There's also, if I swipe up from the bottom, feature come up there, play the thing. On the home button, if I double click that, it drops my apps down and I can see all the apps that are currently running on my computer. So right now this is a CBS app. It's taking up some thinking space on my iPad. I want it to run, and it closes that one, and I can go through here and close all my apps. And when I'm done doing that, I just go ahead and touch the home button and it takes me back to the screen. So that's a quick overview of using the iPad. The first thing we want to do is go to the settings and make some adjustments specifically for the iBos program. First off, if you don't have your mail set up, here's where you do that. You would touch in this and it takes you over here, and you can set up, your email. This is my account, my email address, and it walks you through setting all those things up. So that's over here in mail and calendars. I'm going to swipe and drag this down. The 2 iBos settings we want to have set up are under general. So we'll go to general. Starting at the top, the about, there's an arrow. So I want to go, if you missed that, I'll go back. I'll touch back to the general. Over an about line, there's a little arrow here. I just tap there once. It says name of this iPad. So this iPad that I'm using is named Don Wishart, and we want you to put either your full name here or your dealer name, so that we can basically so that if we see an iPad that's logging in, we know whose it is, and if there's one that isn't being used, we can disable it so it frees up licenses, and so we're not wasting licenses for iPads that aren't being used. So that's the name setting. Put your full name or your dealership name in there. Going back to general, I'll touch about here and just drag the screen up so I can see more of it. We want to go ahead and have lock rotation. Select that. Just tap on it once and it will give you that little blue check mark. And then we're going to go down here to auto lock, and this needs to be set to at least 15 minutes. So if it's not, we just tap the arrow once, takes us over, gives us these options, and 15 minutes should be a good setting for all that we're going to do with the iBos program on our app. So make sure that's set to 15. Go ahead and go back to general, and that is it for the settings. So I'll push the home button and it takes me out of this app back where I can see the rest of them. So now we've got our settings set. We're going to go over here to our app store and touch on it once. Just tap it. And when it comes up, it's showing you the featured apps. So these are all the new things that you can download and use on your iPad. And what we want to go do is go up here to the corner, and we're going to search for File Maker. So it's F-I-L-E Maker. And as we type it in, it comes up with suggestions. And right here is the one we want. File Maker Go 13. So I'll tap on that once, and it shows me it over here. And this little cloud with a download symbol, that is my download. So I'll tap that once, and it starts downloading. And I can tell it's downloading because it's circled, and now this little square comes up. And if you look closely, eventually a little bit of circle will start swirling around the outside. And when it gets all the way around, this app will be downloaded and it will change to an open button here. So while that app is downloading, I would like to show you a few more features on the iPad. One feature is the screen capture. So I can take a picture of my screen, so whatever is showing on my screen, and by doing that I'll push the home button, and at the same time I'll push the little button right on the corner up here, and that will take, and it blanks out, makes a little click noise. It just took a picture of my screen. And now I'll go down to my photos, down, and in my recent, so today, here's the photo. I can touch on it, it expands up, and over here in the corner is a little box with an arrow coming out of it. I can touch on that, tap on it, and right here I have a mail option, or I can send it to Facebook or Twitter. So if I type the mail, it automatically creates an email message. I can type in here the address of who I would like to send this snapshot of my screen to. And the reason this is handy is for, well, first off, when I'm using the iBos program, if there's some records or something I want to either save a copy of or I want to send to someone, I can just show those records on the screen, take a picture, and email it to someone. So the screen capture works very good that way. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this email, and I don't want to save it, so I'll hit cancel again. Oh, I don't want to save it, so I'll hit delete draft again. There we go. And I want to get out of my photos area, so I'll hit the home button. And the other way to send an email is, or a photo in an email, is to go into your email, mailboxes, select inbox, go ahead and select a new, which is this icon over here. This is new email. This is forward or reply. This, of course, is delete and store it in a folder or mark it. So I'll go ahead and click on the new email, and it pops up. Let's say I want to send this. I can type in the email address here. If I start typing, of course, it comes up with a list of my contacts. We'll leave this one blank for right now. So I can tap and type a subject, or tap down here and start typing. In here I can type in my picture, and if I didn't do something right, what I can do is touch and hold and let go, and it gives me, I can select. So I can select, and these little bars let me scroll to select what I want, and then I can cut, copy, or paste that stuff. But right now what I want to do is insert my photo, so I'll touch and hold until my option and let go. My option comes up to insert photo or video, and from there it will show me my recently added, and here's the one I took for today, and there it is. So I can send this, and I select use, and I can send it along with this email. So if you're want to send some information to someone, a customer, maybe show them some records, something like that, you can do it very quickly here to show them how their cows are doing in each pasture or something like that. Or if you have something in iBos that you're not sure of, you want someone else to look at, you can take a screenshot of that in the program, and you can send it to your district representative or someone else to look at and see if they can provide some answers for you. So a very nice feature to have. Go ahead and delete this draft and get our email, and by pushing the home button, and I'm going to go over and see if that app is downloaded. So I'm going to go back to the App Store. Okay, so about 15 minutes later, it now has all downloaded, and it shows me open.
So I'm going to touch the open, tap there once, and it's opening FileMaker Go. So this is my new app. It'll take a second here to load. And right away it says tap to get started with FileMaker Go. So this is some training material that automatically shows up. I really don't want to go through all of this, so I'll go ahead and click over here on these double squares, and options come down: Home, Windows, or Current Window. So what I want to show you is Windows, and this shows you how many files you have open within this app. So right now it's just showing me one. If there's more, I would drag it to the side. Actually, I touched it there, so expanded back up. So when I hit the corner again and show Windows, if there's more than one open, you could see the start of them on each side of this one. We only have the one open, and this little square right here will close it. This little red circle with the X inside. So I tap on that once, and it takes me to, this is recent. So this is the recent file, the getting started file. What I really want to see is what files are on my device. This is here. So this shows me the files that are on my device. These are the standard files that come with the app. What we want to do is go get the iBos file and load it into this app. So we're going to go over here. Well, since we're here, one thing I'd like to point out, if I wanted to delete one of these files, no longer needed them, since these are all startup ones, I'd make sure I was on device and not recent. Let's go to device and slide to the right, and a little delete box comes up. So if I want to get rid of a file, I just touch that delete and it would be gone. These ones can stay here for now, they're not bothering me. I'll go hit the home button, and I'll go to my email,
and from the email I'll get the iBos 2015 file, and from here I see the iBos file. I'll tap to download. So right now it's downloading, and when it turns into this icon, it's done downloading. And you just tap on it once. And if you're running iOS 8, which is the new operating system for an iPad, I tap just once, and now I'm going to wait at least a minute before I do anything else. Okay, that took almost a minute, and I waited, and the pop-up appears that shows me where I can open this file in. And I want to choose FileMaker Go with this icon. If you're seeing this icon, this is FileMaker Go 12, which is the old version of FileMaker, and the iBos 2015 file will not work in that version. So if you're seeing this, you have the wrong FileMaker downloaded. You need to get FileMaker 13, which is same purple folder that's opening, but it has a white background around it, not the blue. So I'll tap once on this icon, and now it opens FileMaker Go. It asks me to register to keep up to date. We'll register later, so we'll tap no thanks. And here's the iBos file, so I'll tap on that once, and now it's opening. Should say iBos Feed Management 3.09 at the top. That's the latest version. It says enter my iBos dealer ID. So I tap once in the box and enter my dealer ID and click register, or tap register. I want to make sure that I do have an internet signal while I'm doing this, because right now it's checking with the main database to see that that's a valid dealer ID. Okay, I've been registered. Now it's showing me a few screens. I'll just wait. I won't touch anything while it's doing this. It's getting ready to set up. Okay, and now it says this is my first sync. Once the sync finishes, this file cannot be used on any other device. So I entered a descriptive name for the machine and database. So it uses my full name or my dealership name here, and Go iPad 13.0.5. That looks good, so I'll go ahead and touch OK. And now it's completing the initial sync. So I don't want to do anything to interrupt this. I don't want to hit the home button. I don't want to touch the screen too many times. Okay, initial sync is complete. Took 6 seconds. And here's what it brought down. So syncing is when it looks at the main database, which is stored on a server in a secure location, and it looks there to see what information is on that server and brings down any information so that this information I'm seeing on my iPad matches what's on the server. So I'll click OK. And once I click OK, I have to wait, and it's going to close that screen and open the home screen. And this is the home screen for the iBos program. So this is where the next training series will start out at. You're now ready to start making records and setting up all your information in your iPad. We'll look forward to hope you enjoyed this session, and we'll see you on the next one.